In this lesson, we talk about aggregate functions. Aggregate data is information derived from more than one row at a time. SQL has a powerful features for dealing with aggregate data. We have basic aggregate functions such as count, sum, average, mini, and max. In this lesson, we will learn how to use them. After opening SQL Lite Studio, we will click on the SQL editor in order to open the SQL windows for us. Now let's open our database world in order to practice the aggregate functions on it. For this, let me select all the data from country table to see what we have there. Click run. As you see, we have 239 as a total rows. For example, if I want to find out the total rows of a table, we can use the count function. For this, I'll write select count parentheses, and then either you write asterisk or you write a column name. So I will show you what is the difference between using the asterisk and the column name. Let's complete this. Now let's run this query. As you see, we have 239 rows. And now let's use, instead of the asterisk, a column name. Same way. For example, I will choose in-depth year as a column name to calculate the total number of rows. Let's run this. As a reminder, we have 239 rows. Then when I run the select count, the column name from country, let's see how many total rows we get. We got 192. The reason is the count is not calculating the null values. Let me run the query again. In depth year column, we have some null values, which is count is not calculating them. So in order to calculate or get the right total number, it is better to use asterisk instead of the column name. The other benefit of using the count function is to find out how many rows of a column has a null value. For example, in the column name in-depth year, let's see how many rows has null value. For this, I will write, then I will use the where clause. Where is null. So this will calculate all the rows where in-depth year are nulls. So let's run this query. We have 47 rows which has a null value in in-depth year. Also, the count function is used to count the columns which has a specific string in it. Let's see how to use it. For example, in continent column, I want to find out how many rows has Asia as a value. So for this, I will write. So let's run this query. We have 51 rows which has Asia in the continent column. And note that when you are using equal sign, the criteria is case sensitive. For example, if I change the A capital to small and run the query again, you see I'm getting 0. So when you are using equal sign, it is case sensitive. In order to solve this issue, you can use like instead of the equal sign. So I'll write like and then run the query again. You see we have got the right number of rows which has Asia as a value. The other functions in general are works on a column that its data type is a number. So let's have a look. Let's show the data for the table country. For example, if we take the life expectancy as an example, we see the column data is number. So if I want to calculate or get the summation of all the numbers, what I will do, I will write select. Then I have to write the column name. So if I run this query, I'll get the summation for the life expectancy column. Now, if I want to get a max, mini, average, and the other function can be applied the same way, all we need to do is to change the sum to, for example, to max. Run it. We have the maximum number in the life expectancy 83.5. Same way for mini. Also, the average is same way. So now if I want to use the where clause with these functions, so what I'll do, for example, let me run the query again. So now let's find the maximum number inside the life expectancy column where continent column is like Asia. And let's run this query. So the maximum number for life expectancy 81.6, where the continent is Asia. So it will filter all the continent which is Asia. From them, among these number, it will pick the maximum number for the life expectancy. So this is how to use the aggregate functions. In the next video, we will go deeper and we'll learn more about these functions.